What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Pure Evil LNA. I'm your host, as always, Evil Edding. Today, I have a very special guest for some huge news, some very upsetting news that came out yesterday for all flyweights inside the UFC. With a 14-2 record, joining us here, we got Jared Brooks, the Monkey God. How you doing today, Jared?
I guess I'm doing okay. I ain't got no job, but I'm feeling pretty damn good.
Man, so this is so upsetting. I mean, I'm absolutely disgusted by this news. So let's kind of rewind a little bit. Yesterday, you had no idea that this news was going to break, but Dana White, about a year ago, when Mighty Mouse was going through, negotiations, trying to set up super fights with TJ Dillashaw, he kind of brought it up to everybody that he might dissolve the division. Now, I don't think I took it serious. When you first heard that news, did you think that maybe this was the direction the UFC was going to take? Did that make you nervous, even a year ago? Or how were you feeling about this? Did you feel safe as a flyweight?
Yeah, this was a process of up and downs for me. Like they've always been talking about it, so it's always been a nerve-wracking thing. But now that it's done, it's kind of alleviated the pressure. To be honest. They've threatened us more than one time. If you're in a relationship with somebody and threaten them, then that's not good. So being out of that, it's fine. I think that I'll venture on to other organizations and still be a stronghold in those.
Well, before we even get into that, man, honestly, I think that you should be in easily the top 5 of the UFC, of a huge name. Everybody knows who Jared Brooks is, and man, it's not going to be a struggle, I don't think, for another promotion to sign you, and we're going to get into that. But let's talk about your initial reaction yesterday when you found this news out. How did you find out that this was going to happen, that all the flyweights got cut? Because you were actually one of the first people next to Shorty Torres, an opponent of yours, to be cut.
Yeah, I think it had to do with us, either talking about it or, we were just public enemy number one off of the get. They're like, well, or it was because Jose fought Perez right before me, and then I just fought in September. So maybe they were just waiting fights too. You know what I'm saying?
How many fights did you have left on your contract? 'Cause I know that Shorty had 2. I mean, everybody didn't even get the option to even move up. And I heard that you actually found out from your coach. You didn't get a direct letter from the UFC or anything, and this happens a lot. Fighters find out on social media. So did that kind of feel a little weird that you're finding out that way?
No, I actually found out when I was working out at Powerhouse. Sorry, I didn't answer your initial question earlier. I was at Powerhouse getting my strength and conditioning on, and my coach calls me in the middle of the practice. He calls Guy, my strength and conditioning coach, and he's like, well, James needs to talk to you. And I was like, okay, what the fuck did I do? And so James told me, before you see anything on social media, I just wanted to tell you that they're eliminating the flyweight division, and Justin and you are cut. So I was like, damn.
And you're talking about...
It really wasn't too hard at the time, you know what I'm saying? I was just going through the workout still, saying fuck it.
And I saw that Justin had a pretty upsetting reaction, too, because he felt like he was doing the UFC a favor by taking a fight on short notice, moving up to bantamweight. Now, that's another huge thing that people want to know about. Why don't you think you guys were offered to even move up to bantamweight? Don't you think that was a little weird on their end?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think that they're taking their select few, and I think that it's bullshit. The marketability of people like Joseph Benavidez and Henry Cejudo and Wilson Hayes and Ray Borg and those guys. I mean, those are guys that I can easily beat, and Davison Figueiredo. Those are guys that I can easily beat, but they just don't want to cut the weight. It's been years and years of bitching and missing weight that Dana's seen, and he had enough of it. Like, I mean, at that point in time, like, I'm sitting here, like, I don't even cut weight, and I'm fighting these guys. Like, it pisses me the fuck off that these guys don't want to sit here and do their job cup weight. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous to me.
Well, once you found out that Mighty Mouse is going to be leaving, I mean, this is a pretty new division in the UFC. I still remember, the Ian McCall fight with Mighty Mouse. It's, I think, like 5, 6, 7 years old, somewhere along that line. Like, yeah. It's a pretty new division. So when Mighty Mouse left, did you kind of feel like you guys might be in danger, or how are you feeling with that?
Yeah, it was either I knew they were going to get rid of the flyweight division, or because my manager told me right after that, he was like, either, he was already on, other promotions at that time when Demetrius left, because he had a gut feeling, and I'm very thankful for my manager for that. But, yeah, I just think that it's just a fucked up process, man.
So yesterday when you found out, you go back home, what's going through your head? Like, obviously there's other promotions like ONE FC, Bellator. I mean, let's be real, this was a huge year for other promotions outside the UFC to really grow. We've definitely been seeing that. And, when you went home last night, what were you thinking? What was going through your head for future plans off the bat?
Oh, man. I don't want to, get into the logistics of that right now, because I'd rather, wait and say that a different time when it's, good enough to.
Do you feel like you have an equal opportunity at other promotions because of, ONE FC is doing like a Grand Prix right now? Like I said, let's be real, other promotions are actually growing this year. So, do you think you have a fair chance at any other organization to put the same amount of effort in promoting you? Or do you even think that going to another promotion might even help your career by them promoting you more than you have seen at the UFC?
Well, I would really just like to, promote myself. That's one thing that the UFC didn't get to do with me because of the Reebok deal, because we were signed under so many contracts that, I didn't even fight for me. I was fighting for Reebok. I was fighting for the UFC. Now I go to another organization. Yes, I'll be under that organization, but now I can fight for me. I can get sponsorships. I can, do the proper things that that the UFC couldn't do because they had so many people on their lines.
Well, that's another huge thing. Do you think one of the other reasons why they may have shut down the division, and I think you do a great part promoting yourself and getting people hyped about your fights and even going in there and living up to your word. Do you think that some of the fighters in the division may not have been able to get people excited and for whatever reason?
Well, I just tweeted this. I was like, well, if you look at the grand scheme of things in my UFC career, I mean, if I wouldn't have lost that biased decision to Davison Figueiredo in Brazil against that Brazilian, I would be in the top 5 right now. And I think that I could market that weight class if I had the cameras in front of me. But I'm going to let you know right now how this whole thing is going down. Like, one, you got Megan Olivia. I don't know who Megan Olivia is.
Of course.
Okay, you got Megan Olivia. Who's she married to?
Joseph Benavidez.
Of course. So, she went up to me after UFC Brooklyn, after Ian McCall, and she runs the UFC, social media and stuff like that also. And she went up to me, who I would like to fight next. And I swear I did not know that Joseph Benavidez and her were dating. I was like, I just didn't know. And I said, somebody with the initials JB, that would be great. And so Joseph Benavidez, let's sidetrack this. We go to UFC 187 where I'm cornering Justin Scoggins, and Joseph Benavidez is in the back. And I look at Joseph and I'm like, hey, dude, I'll see you in 2 years. And he's just like, I don't doubt that. But ever since then, ever since that Megan Olivia thing, he's just like, oh, you told my wife, like, as we were walking by the workout room, right, at UFC Brooklyn. And he stops me and he's just like, oh, yeah, you told my wife that you wanted to fight me. And I'm just like, oh, Megan Olivia's your wife? But yeah, I would love to fight you. And, yeah, I just think that it went on to that. And Joseph has kind of been controlling the flyweight division through Megan. You know what I'm saying? So I think that, it's just a little conspiracy. I don't know. But still, Joseph's trying to control this shit with his fashion stuff. And it's all fucky to me.
Honestly, man, I mean, this is obviously very upsetting news. Do you think another reason why is because they might be bringing in the 165-pound division? Well, let's even backtrack. Like, why are they getting rid of this division, but yet they're opening up female divisions that don't even have enough girls to fill it? How do you feel about that?
You know what? They're trying. They're living day-to-day market-wise. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when you live day-to-day market-wise, you're gonna fucking crash. You got way too many people that don't know shit about this sport involved into it. So when you have all of that stuff, it's gonna crash sometime. So I'm thankful for other organizations also that are competing now. So the UFC is fucking up and it's showing.
Before we let you go, last thing I want to say here is, where are you feeling right now? Are you just going to be concentrating directly on getting yourself into another promotion? Because, man, that was such upsetting, crushing news to so many people. I'm sure that everybody is, running to one organization or another. Right now, are you just going to be sitting down with your managers and all that, or are you going to have the manager figured out and you just keep training? How are you going to be handling this?
Hey, man, I pay my managers good money. They deserve to do their job and tell me the logistics, and I'll read between the lines there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm gonna be just running shit. I don't care where I'm at. I'm gonna run shit, and people are gonna respect this division and this strawweight division also.
Ted, I want to thank you so much for joining me here on Pure Evil, mate. It was a pleasure talking with you. We wish you best of luck moving forward. You got full support from me and a lot of other people out there. I've been seeing it all over your Twitter, Instagram. There's a lot of people that are very upset about this news, but we know that you're going to be fine in the long run. So thank you so much for joining us here on Pure Evil MMA.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it very much.
Have a great day. Here we go. And our next guest is MITCH RAPOSO, who's going to be calling in just a second. 1 o'clock on the dot. How about that? That was perfect. He actually has another interview with James Lynch right after me. So somehow I was able to slip in there, which is another reason why I don't tweet out, like today, I didn't tweet out who my interviews were going to be with, because I just feel like there's people out there that they see my tweets and then they go message the person I'm doing an interview with and be like, oh, no, you don't want to do that guy's show. And if you guys think I'm crazy, this happens a lot. It's so crazy. It's so crazy to me. And I've heard firsthand experiences of this happening. I've seen it happen before. So if you guys are wondering why I didn't tweet out who was interviewing until literally minutes before, that is why. It's unfortunate. Let me get my shot. If the fighter feels safe to come on my show, if they've been on my show before, let them feel. It's up to them, not you. All right, so we got our next guest joining us here, MITCH RAPOSO, the phenom, the young up-and-comer who's also in the same division that was just shut down yesterday. But he has some plans here. This is definitely going to affect a lot of people out there. Mitch being one of them. Mitch, what's going on, boss?
What's up, bro?
Not much, man. Last time I saw you, went there over at Ammo. You did your job. You got people talking about you. Flow Combat was all over it. I did a recap of your performance, man. And you even said it in the interview when we went backstage. You were like, "You're gonna see me inside the UFC." Well, now, what does the news change for you now? First off, what was your reaction to it?
Oh, I'm a little bit. My coach told me I honestly a lot of great athletes. I'm a little bit of a diva, you know what I'm saying? So when I found that out, I was honestly crushed. It's I took it really, really hard. I just didn't think I honestly just didn't think with common sense here. I was just freaking out my career was over. In reality, I train with the best bandwidth in the world, and I'm only 20 years old, and I'm ready. I get bigger every time I cut 25. It gets a little harder, and you know what I mean. So it's just right now I'm already pushing 150, and I'm only 20 years old. I already kind of assumed by that time I was going to be 24, 25, that I was going to have to move up anyway.
Yeah, because you're growing still. You grow until you're 25.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm 20 years old, and once I got on the phone with my manager, my coach, now it's before, I was kind of I wasn't lifting, I wasn't on any supplement. I wanted to stay at 25. I wanted to kind of keep my weight low. Now I'm honestly free. I'm honestly free to get as big as really, not as I want, but to put on a little bit of size. So it doesn't really change much, to be honest.
Why do you think that they dissolved this division? I was just talking to Jared Brooks. I was like, man, you got them talking about the 165-pound division. In the flyweight division, it's only 6 years old. The only champ we had was Mighty Mouse. Why do you personally think they shut the division down?
I honestly, I like Mighty Mouse's style, but I was never a fan of him. I always kind of wanted him to lose because I knew something like this was going to happen. I think in all reality, I mean, I think he screwed us. To be honest, I think him not like him the way he was in interviews, like he didn't. There was no excitement. There was no confidence. Like he didn't give a shit. Like you know what I mean? It's just like he was just like, oh, win or lose, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna power wash my fence. Nobody wants to hear that. You know what I'm saying?
That's an actual quote too. He's actually said that quote before.
That's what I'm saying. Like, nobody wants to hear that. This is a fight game. You know, at the end of the day, people want to hear confidence. And he didn't bring that. And then when a super fight, when he always complained about money and all this, but like when a super fight came in against Dillashaw, he didn't want to step up and take a fight. So all of this, like at the end of the day, it's ruthless what they did and cut all these guys. At the end of the day, it was honestly inevitable. But when have you seen a 125-pound fight headline a main event pay-per-view? It never happens anymore. They'll put the 115-pound woman. I mean, no disrespect to them, but they're like 3 years old. They'll put them over us. You know, because he brought no excitement, he brought no confidence. He couldn't sell a fight to save his life, and he didn't bother to. You know what I'm saying? So honestly, I think Mighty Mouse screwed us. If you ask me, that's just my opinion. But
I think there's a lot of people out there that might feel the same exact way that you do, especially because this seed got planted in Dana White's head, at least to us. It seemed like it was planted in his head because of what you just said, how he wouldn't take the super fight, make the next step to improve the division.
So who wins the belt? His first shot, he's down to fight the 35-pound champ. You know what I mean? This is the fight game. People want to see, at the end of the day, you got to take fights that are smart for you, but when you're at the top of the game and you've been dominating a weight class for like who knows how long, and there's finally a fight that can bring some excitement to the division, you dodge it. But then Cejudo comes up and he goes, Cejudo kind of screwed us low-key too, because instead of him saying to come down or calling out, you know what I mean, somebody's lost to Benavidez, but at the end of the day, I don't believe that because Benavidez lost to Sergio Pettis. Well, even though I didn't think he lost that fight, but like him going up, Dana White was all over it. Oh, sure, yeah. We can finally get the division that we've been dying to end because these guys, they won't bring any excitement. I do think they're gonna bring it back in a few years. So like a lot of people forget in 2004 they got rid of the lightweight division. You know what I mean?
And that's the best division they got right now.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like in a couple years, I do think they'll bring it back. But even I don't think I'll be able to make that win a couple years anyway. But it's like at the end of the day, that's how I see both sides. You know what I mean? And I honestly think Mighty Mouse screwed us. I really do. I think he was the guy. I do think they should have waited at least another 2 years because we finally have a new champion. And you know what I mean? Honestly, it's been hell for this week. We were supposed to see a great matchup between Benavidez and Borg. I mean, Ray Borg pulled out for the 100th time. I mean, that doesn't help us either.
Another thing, people aren't making weight at the division. That's kind of frustrating on the UFC's end. People don't want to put in the work.
Exactly. I mean, you got guys missing weight all the time because these fat kids. You know what I mean? They get so fat in the off season. You know what I mean? They're not 35ers. They get so fat. They're like 165. They're trying to cut 25. They're not going to make the weight. You know what I'm saying?
Another thing that you brought up. It's like you are, I say this every time I talk to you, you are the new era. So it's really awesome that you're seeing some of the issues inside of it, like Mighty Mouse not taking the super fight and stuff like that. And it's such a shame because there are a real lot of flyweights around here, just in the New England area, that are up and coming like you. Like, have you heard of Stapleton yet? I forgot his first name. This kid Stapleton.
Yeah, I've had a couple like things with him, man. He's just like a strawweight, right? He's like the new strawweight.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's like a young dog because he also he was going around now. He does like the Naga tournaments. And he was going around saying like, "Oh, I want to face Mitch," and like that. So I don't really know. I'm not really. I don't really know him that well. That's all I know him from is him like ask people about me. It was kind of weird, but whatever.
My point being is like there are all these characters. People are really understanding how to promote yourself. So I definitely understand your frustration with it. And you brought up the female division as well. Now the UFC is opening up divisions for females that don't even have enough girls to fill it. Do you think that's a little unfair? How do you feel?
That's what I'm saying. But the girls promote the fights better than Mighty Mouse does. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, look at Joanna. Like Joanna became a superstar. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like she became a superstar. Like there was no reason to. I thought that Mighty Mouse, he just doesn't have the personality. But he belongs in Asia. You mean at one championship? I think he'll do great out there. You know what I mean? And it's like. It's just there's nothing we can do. Even the flyweights now, though, like some of them, they're just corny. Like they don't really, they think they gotta talk shit, and it's like it's just not organic. I just think that the UFC didn't see any pending star coming up in the flyweight division. Even though I think there's tons coming up, especially with me. I have a buddy in Vegas who's 25 out there. I'm telling you, that kid's coming up. Like they have guys coming up. It's just that I don't think they see anybody at 125. Like they had Sergio Pettis, I think he had potential to be a star at 25. You know what I mean? But even him, he just moved to 35. He'll probably, he's fighting my buddy Raw Font. So it's like I just think they saw nobody there, no potentials, and I just think they just had to get rid of it, man. It's just like, what are they gonna do? They're gonna have Cejudo fight Formiga? Like nobody knows who UCF Formiga is. You know what I'm saying? Like he doesn't fight either. It's like their hands are kind of tied, to be honest.
So do you think it's a better idea for you to stay at this division or for you to move up? I mean, like you said, your body's going to be growing, but I just said this to Jared Brooks. In 2018, all these promotions, Bellator, ONE FC, there's a whole bunch of promotions I can list off right now that have definitely grown just in this year alone. So do you think you want to stay in the weight class or move up?
So the division's gone. So the plan, I'm going to the UFC. That's what my career is going to be. I'm going to be a superstar in the UFC regardless. So I think for now, if Bellator picks it up, you know what I mean, I would gladly make my career Bellator. I think Bellator is right next to the UFC now. They pay great money. You know what I mean? And so I think if they picked it up, that's cool. But I think now is just, for me, before I wasn't really allowing my body to like grow. I was going to focus on keeping my weight low. Now for me, man, it's just if it's at 25, if it's even at catchweight at 130. Just building my name, building my career, keeping what I'm doing, keeping my following up. You know what I mean? And I'll let Tyson do his work with the UFC, and I think you'll see. I'll probably debut at 135 probably next summer.
So your next fight, do you have a next fight?
Yeah, January will be my pro debut. That probably will be at 25 or it'll be at 130 or something. Probably something like that.
Okay.
For me, the end goal is the UFC, man. So at the end of the day, if I have to move up, I mean, I'm glad to do that. I train with the best bandwidth in the world anyway, so I know what level I'm at.
What do you think are some of the advantages of moving up other than, staying at the weight class that you're at?
I'm going to be way faster than everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like this is, right now I'm working at 45, and you look at guys like Cody Garbrandt, it's heavily documented. Dude, that dude walks around like 148. TJ Dillashaw walks around at 150. Yeah, but he says all the time he's got a lift to keep his weight on to get 35. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys, like, everybody thinks you got to be, like, so big. No, dude, like, by the time, all I really need to put on, I would say about 5-10 pounds of, like, of muscle to get on a good strength plan. And I'm going to be even more dangerous at 35. I'm going to be way faster than all these guys. And my wrestling's going to be even better, man. So at the end of the day, I think I'm going to see a better version of me at 35. And as soon as I fill up properly to the weight class.
And you're training at one of the best gyms around, man. Rob Font, when he came on, he had nothing but great things to say about you 2 weeks ago when he came on the show. He was like, as soon as I saw Mitch, he had that it factor about him, man. And I'm so happy that you're joining us here again today because I needed to know how this is impacting people outside of the UFC, not just people inside the UFC, but outside the UFC. What did Rob say? Did you talk to anybody at your gym about this? What's the general consensus at the gym?
Rob's always me, even he was surprised. Like, he even told me he didn't think the division was going to go. But at the end of the day, man, it's like he knows he has the most belief in me, man. He knows as long as him and his manager Tyson. Like, I told Tyson already, and I'm sure I'll talk to him. I have rounds with Rob this Saturday. I'm actually his main farm partner for the Pets fight, and so Tyson. I was freaking out, but Tyson called me like, dude, he's like, you're gonna fill up, and you're gonna do just as good at 135. Like, you look at guys like John Lineker. I'm not 5'2", 5'3". I'm actually I have a little bit of height on me. I'm 5'5". But you see a guy like John Lineker who's like 5'2", who's tearing it up at 135. You see a guy like John Dawson, just beat Pedro Munoz. He's a solid guy at 135. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think as long as I look at my body, I'm still growing. I'm only 20. I think it'd be a different story if I was 30 years old or 26 years old. I'm 20 years old, so I think as soon as my body fills up, and I'm going to be just as dangerous at 135.
Before we let go here, Mitch, I want to talk to you a little bit about Rob's fight. How is that training camp going? I mean, is this your first time doing something like this with him to get ready for a UFC fight? That's a pretty big role to fill, and he definitely sees a lot of potential in you, clearly.
Yeah, I've been doing it since when I first met Rob. At that time, actually, he was talking about it was September. It was last year around this time. Yeah, last year around September, and I literally just turned 19, and I helped him for his camp with Pedro Munoz. Then I helped him. I was the main sparring partner for the Almeida fight and the Assunção fight. So I think until he fights someone who's like 5'10" and a southpaw and a lengthy striker, like I think I'll always be like one of his main guys. So I think it's a terrible fight for Sergio Pettis, man. I think Rob hits too hard. Pettis is technical and he's fast and all that, but I think that Rob sees that he sees that all the time, especially with someone like me. I think Rob, he's gonna. I mean, I think he's gonna beat on surgery, but I think it's gonna be a great fight.
Last thing I want to ask you, man. So, imagine if you were in the UFC right now, you found this news out yesterday. What would you personally do?
Bro, that's exactly that. I'm telling you, I was freaking out, but I think it was a blessing in disguise for me. Honestly, straight up. Like, I think I could have been. And everybody knows my plan was turn pro, get a couple wins, be on the contender series next summer, and then I probably would have did all that, and I would have been in the UFC. But if this would happen next year, I would be without a job. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would be screwed. Like, I feel so bad for those dudes. You know what I mean? And it's like people are like, oh, well, what FC will pick up? It's like, who really knows what one's paying? Like, everyone thinks Mighty Mouse got paid so well, but at the end of the day, he's Mighty Mouse.
Yeah.
Of course they're gonna pay him well. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, who knows what they're really paying? Like, it's like, so I feel for those dudes, man. And it's like, so I think honestly, it's a blessing in disguise for me that I wasn't. This because I could have been in the UFC, and I would have been like a couple of months in the UFC. They probably would have come. Right now, I'd be without a job. You know what I mean? That would be my career. I wouldn't even be given a chance to fight at 135. It's like, honestly, I think it was a blessing in disguise, to be honest.
That's another thing, man. You bring up a great point. There's people out there like Jose Shorty Torres, which I've watched him literally grow the past 3 years to make it to the UFC. He makes it, and now he gets cut without even being offered to move up.
I don't even understand that he was a world champion at bantamweight, at Titan FC. Like, if there's anybody, like that kid just had on Jared Brooks. Jared, everyone knows he talks a lot from here. So maybe the UFC didn't really like him. They cut him, and he's kind of small. They're already cutting the whole flyweight division, but like most of it anyway. But he's kind of small. Like, he fought at 115 in pancreas. Like, I could never make 115. Like, that's insane. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think I understand, but dude, Jose Shorty Torres, like, he was a top prospect for so long, and he was a world champion at 135. Like, I don't understand why they wouldn't give him a chance to fight at bantamweight at 135 in the UFC. Like, I really don't get that, but I do understand that they can't just add 20 guys to their bantamweight roster. You know what I'm saying? I understand that. I think guys like Joseph Benavidez will move up to 35, and they'll be able to make their career there, but I don't think guys like who just got to the UFC will get to do that. It's unfortunate, but honestly, a blessing in disguise for me.
Mitch, I want to thank you so much for coming on Pure Evil MMA once again. And guys, tomorrow we're going to be speaking with Jose Shorty Torres in the morning or afternoon. I'll keep everybody posted and updated on that. But Mitch, man, it is only a matter of time. You make a great point. You made a lot of great points on this interview, especially like this being a blessing in disguise, because that would suck. Like, if you just got signed to the UFC and they booted you, like, that's your dream, and now it's gone. So I feel...
I would have no job, man. Thank God.
I feel for a lot of these guys. You know what we like to do at this point. If you have any sponsors, shout-outs, anything at all, the floor is now all yours, Mitch.
Just huge shout-out. Team was always right at the Trent Center. X1 Fitness. Everyone tune in UFC Milwaukee December 15th. Rafa takes out Sergio Hedge. It's a huge fight. Charlie Man Rob's going to go ahead and take care of business and move on to the bantamweight division. You know what I mean? Make the top 10 once again. And huge shout-out Top Game Manager. That's your shot, man. And thanks for having me on, bro.
Of course, Mitch. We'll catch up soon, and God bless, brother.
Later, brother.
What a show, guys. This is the Flyweight show. It really is. Let me just say this before I let everybody go. So tomorrow, I want to fill everybody in. Tomorrow, I will be speaking to Jose Shorty Torres, who was one of the first fighters that was let go yesterday. This is devastating news, and I had to do my job. I had to go in there and find some fight. Like Mitch is great. Mitch literally messaged me this morning telling me how he felt about it. I was like, we got to get you on. We got to get you on the show. And then shout out to Prime Athletic Management as well. They sent me a text last night. I woke up to read it. There's Jared Brooks' posts in my text. You know what? Let me read that really quick, because this is how I got him on the show. Wow, mad text messages. Let's see. This was Jared Brooks' Facebook post. If you haven't heard, I just got the can from the UFC, along with the flyweight division also. And guess what? I don't give a damn. Going to be one of the best mixed martial arts in the game, period. I'll be back bigger and better. And right now, I'm just going to make some money. And we got the baby in my back. If you're tuning to the podcast, you can't see the baby. We'll talk about her in a second. But man, this is just devastating news to a lot of fighters. And like I said, there are promotions that are making their names. They're moving forward. They're definitely blowing up. But you gotta remember, like people like Jose Shorty Torres, working day after day. The big dream for a lot of these guys is to make it to the UFC. And for Shorty, who was in the bantamweight division as well, it blows my mind how at least some of the guys that could make weight were not offered to move up. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It's very devastating. So we will get the third part of this trilogy interview podcast of the Flyweights finished tomorrow. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in to Pure Evil MMA. Subscribe down below since I didn't start the show saying that. Follow me on Instagram at Pure Evil MMA _ Where you going, girl? Where you going? You on my back? What are we doing? What are we doing? You want to sign everyone out? Want to sign everyone out? Actually, I'm trying to come up with a name for her. I think I'm going to name her Shadow. Joe Danetti's little cousin came up with a couple of good ones. She said, name her Ghost, since I'm Pure Evil MMA. Or not Ghost, Angel. Name her Angel. He literally just hangs in my shoulder. So she's like Angel on my shoulder, she said. Ann, shout out to Angels095. Shout out to everybody. Even girls that were commenting on my Facebook post saying, ew, gross, return it. Like, damn, yo. Damn, brutal. This is my fucking real pocket monster. It's my real Pokemon. And I love my little monsters. We got Oscar. Where's Oscar? There's Oscar somewhere. We got 3 rats all together now. We used to have 10. But Angie Jab took those with her when we broke up. But guys, subscribe down below here on YouTube, because for some reason we got 10 times more download on iTunes. Oh, and this week we are about to break 800 downloads just on Podbean alone for the podcast. So I must have an ugly mug or something. I don't know what I'm doing wrong here on the YouTube channel where I'm pulling in, a 10th of the views that I am getting the downloads. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. I must be butt ugly. It's the only thing that makes sense to me. Anyways, guys, if you are listening to this on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify, wherever you're tuning in, please hop over to the YouTube channel. Give us the subscribe and the thumbs up. It would mean the world. And not only that, but you get exclusive content that you can't get on the podcast. That's right. I do the video fight campaigns where you guys get to see backstage what the media actually does. I use my hands a lot. That's how I know I'm Italian. When I talk with my hands, that's how you know I'm Italian, eh? But I'm shot. But guys, 3 Red Bulls before I do interviews isn't helping either. Guys, last but not least, Evil Eddie from Pure Evil MMA. White knuckles till the end. For all the flyweights out there, don't give up. White knuckles till the end.